because it's unlike any other in sport. As both teams made their way out of the tunnel, these folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep down. It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Over 30 yards there, and first downs on 3 consecutive plays now. On first down, Wilson. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Well, it looked like a quick hitter, a 3-step drop, but when it's not there, what do? He elects to try and escape through the massive bodies up the middle, and he does so and picks up positive yardage.
Now a first carry for their fullback. On the ground. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
54, one left. Check, watch 54, watch 54. Let's go. I'm coming out.
2nd down and goal. Wilson escaping the pressure right to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
2 incompletions haven't moved him any closer. And likely throwing again, you'd have to think on 3rd and goal here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's about a 3-yard pickup there, but more importantly, they're still a few yards away here. It's now 4th down and goal. And Myers able to knock it through. Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
Myers now converted on the field goal try. Now he's on to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line. Here we go. Oh, you got it? Watch twins. Watch twins.
First carry for the Boise State Bronco, Alexander Madison. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Bridgewater. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
Bridgewater to throw it. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr., and he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
First down, Minnesota.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Madison running on first down. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Brings up 2nd and 4.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Single, slap.
Running for the first time with a fullback, C.J. Ham. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now, how about that call handed to the big guy in that situation? Normally you think of him as a real short yardage runner, but in this case they trust him to get a few more yards than that. I remember an old New York Giants quarterback, a Super Bowl winning quarterback, telling me he loves offense coordinators who call the plays with a little bit of abandon.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
23 yards on the play.
Let's go.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off the field, D. Watch safety quick.
They'll try to throw here now. Bridgewater. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
At the 7-yard line.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
Seahawks 3, Vikings nothing.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
Slam. Let's go.
Bridgewater now. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Alexander Madison, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have taken the lead. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy.
There goes Melvin Gordon. He's at the 30. 10, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Melvin Gordon, his 6th touchdown of the season, and the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness? the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Bridgewater on first down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Bridgewater. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback.
And he will score! Touchdown, Seattle! Tyler Eifert. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that pushes the lead up to 11. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Bridgewater. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 18 there and give the Vikings a first down. Running from the shotgun with Madison. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
From the 39, Bridgewater. Oh, ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
After the interception, here's Wilson. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 15. First down, Seahawks. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Flushed out right. And he's going to keep it here. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. On the delayed handoff, this is Gordon. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in front. And he's got it. Caught him end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead is up to 18 now. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts a defense.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40, and they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Off the play fake, here's Wilson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Going to begin the drive here with Madison. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Play fake. Bridgewater. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Bridgewater, and that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions.
He's checking.
They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
We ain't beginning the turn. Don't get nervous.
Again, it's Bridgewater. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. Oh, very close to a turnover there in the end zone. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10.
Let's bring it.
Bridgewater again. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. This is taken at the 3. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Throwing on 2nd and long. Bridgewater airing it out deep for Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Throwing is Bridgewater. Going deep for Diggs. And that is incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's Wilson. And an alley to run.
Now, that was a whole lot of open space out in front of him, wasn't it? I'm telling you, Brandon, when things are going right, they are going right.
And everything has been going their way for the most part. I saw that lane start to develop. Boom. He took advantage of it.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Tighten up.
On 1st down, Gordon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 17-yard line.
Go. Took right. Here we go.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
And this is what coaches talk about, never being satisfied. No matter what the lead, always trying to increase it. You never know what can happen in this NFL.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And they open the lead up now to 25. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here we go. At their own 26-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Rip right, rip right. Kill, kill, kill. Cut, kill, turn up.
Another carry now for Madison. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
They'll run with Madison. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Going on the ground with Madison. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They'll try to get it on the ground with Madison. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Ham, the fullback. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Normally when you see a short gain in the middle of a 3-4 defense, go ahead and pat the nose tackle on the back because he's holding things up and taking on extra blockers, which allows one of the inside linebackers to roam free and make the tackle.
Inside give to Ham, the fullback. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. C.J. Ham, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. This time, the extra point up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Play action. It's Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. From the shotgun, Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Emerson Griffin able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Throwing on second and long. Wilson. Caught by Allen. The 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
The extra point now coming from Myers. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. That's going to set them back 5 yards. Now Myers for the extra point. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this fourth quarter. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior, big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. On second down, this is Madison. And he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll run with a fullback Ham. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to fourth down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
And sometimes it doesn't matter how big and strong and powerful you are. The defense is going to win an occasional battle, and they did on that one. Stopped him well short of picking up a first down.
Now the ball comes loose, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. And they're not able to convert on fourth down.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Wilson. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Buying time to his left. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
On second down now, it's Gordon, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's Wilson to throw. Steps away to his left. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Here's Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. And they'll try for it here on fourth. Bridgewater and company stay out there. To throw, Bridgewater. Complete. Smith has it. And he's not able to get away. He is stopped well short of a first down. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Anthony Barr in on the tackle. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
Mike 54. Rabbit.
This is Gordon as they go to him again. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with third down and just a yard to go.
Brings up third and 1.
Well,